Video games? Are video games happening?
Video games are happening, Paul. You guessed correctly.
Much more so than last time. I've been sick for the past week, so I've just been laying around playing shit. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Well, we can talk about that, but first and foremost, 100%, the number one thing we need to talk about, James, we need to talk about Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh.
Because you went and saw it.
I sure fucking did. So by the time this podcast comes out, the preview will be out, so I can say all of this. Basically, I'd never played the first one, so I went in completely cold. And the characters and the world won me over in about 4 to 10 minutes, maybe. Mm-hmm. I was like, I think one of the reasons I was putting off playing the first one because I was like, oh, I heard it was both difficult and emotionally impacting. I was like, I can't have that in my life right now, you know? I can't handle that strain in my heart. And sure enough, with like the first scene, I was like, oh God, it's just so touching and beautiful. Look at this little fucking makeshift foster type family, and they're all like getting along and loving each other and helping each other out. I was like, oh God. And also it just looks really, really good. And they here's the thing. Here's the big thing. Here's the big winning ticket change that I love. I don't know how everybody else is gonna feel about this. In the first Ori game, your saving system was partially based on a limited resource you had to gather.
Yeah.
Which can suck a fuck as far as I'm concerned. And they absolutely did away with that in the second game, and I feel pretty good about it.
Nice. No typewriter ribbons.
Yeah,
to be fair, there wasn't abundance of those items, though.
Yeah, but it's just like one less thing you have to think
100%.
about.
Yeah.
So it's just like every couple of screens, every whatever, like it's just so nice to like, because a lot of the time when you're dying, it's because you're exploring the environment and figuring out what will or will not kill you.
Right.
And like mastering the physics and whatnot, being like, all right, well, if I do this move and like shoot downwards with my little light sword or blade or whatever, and then I bounce up, but I missed that like second attack, and now I'm like impaled on some spikes. It's just nice to be able to come right back and do that whole thing again and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Also, the game is real big. I know this because they told me I finished the demo. When I did finish the demo on normal mode, which I feel pretty good about, at the time, record time. Like I was the fastest person to finish the demo. My time that was so fast in finishing, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Apparently you can take the old Ori 1 map and sort of like lay it over top of the Ori 2 map, and it's like, I don't know, like a fucking fraction of the size. A fraction of the size. This game is so much bigger.
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
Yeah. So I wonder if you're moving around a lot faster than you are, or at least there are ways to move around a lot faster in the second one to help cover as much ground.
Well, you've got the owl, whom I immediately fell in love with and will fight to the death to defend.
Yeah.
With her little broken wing and shit. She does like the glide where you can kind of like ride currents and stuff like that.
Man, I can't wait to see your lower back tattoo of the owl saying "woof."
Yeah. Honestly, I've never found myself having any problems quickly moving through the space. Like it's just like there is some backtracking, but it feels pretty organic, and it was never like I never really felt all that lost, and on the occasions when I did, it was pretty easy to reorient myself.
It's funny because that sounds like they fixed every problem from the first one. All that stuff that you mentioned, there were little bits of that all throughout the first one. Easy to get lost.
I think the first one did still have a bit of a flow to the movement. Like, you would get on board with it and start to be able to roll.
Oh, he was very intuitive, yeah. Or very intuitive.
When I played it a couple years ago, I definitely found that with this one as well, that after a couple minutes with a new skill or something, you're really rolling them all together. So despite it being challenging, it's really easy to roll everything together and use all your skills to do the ridiculous things they want you to do and the things they don't expect you to be able to do right away to get collectibles and things like that. So I'm really stoked about
there was this kind of embarrassing moment when I was talking to the devs where I was just like, oh, this bash move I think is so amazing. It's such an amazing move. And they're like, yeah, that was in the first game. I'm like, so it was.
I think
I was very upfront with them.
Now that you've kind of been acquainted with the world, I think you really need to go and just play the first 10 minutes of the first game.
Yeah, just to see how far they've come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I told them up front. I was like,
even to YouTube, just the intro, because it's. I'd be curious your thoughts on the intro of that versus what you played, because that first Ori intro is, it's something. It's really something. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But yeah, when does that come out? Like 2 weeks?
March 11th.
Ooh.
All right. Full preview on the site, I assume.
Yep.
Cool.
There'll be a video going up and an article going up, and that's going to be on the 26th, which I believe will be now when you're listening to this. Or before.
I'm going to endeavor to have this podcast up on the actual 26th, so that'll be good. That'll be real good.